My name is John Davis, and I just can't chill.
When this reporter, babe, get here, she gonna be on our tip, man. You know she gonna want to write about me and my man here, all kind of long articles.
Flash message, top secret, ultra.
Yeah, and when she does, and she puts his picture in the paper, that's gonna be the secret exposed, his face, for everyone to see, man. That's the whack, you know? Man, what the fuck you talking about, man? Let's go get my man big fame, man.
Arrange temporary transfer this agency.
If I do this interview,
Metal phase 2.
Will I get paid
Your
for it?
concurrence in the above is assumed.
Gee, where you get your information from? You're gonna get paid. You don't get paid.
Notify MFKM, DGYPCM effective immediately.
But he's not gonna get money. Yeah, but that's true what he said, man. I don't want my picture in the paper. Look, man, I know how to publicity.
Top secret, ultra, end of message.
Cash money for this. You might not get the money like right now, but you're gonna have money like Barry White, man. You can do all kind of crazy shit you wanna do when you get this publicity, man.
Now, who will be the first to tell me of a past adventure? Why don't you tell him about the time we faced Doom?
All right. Well, as I remember, Doom had threatened the world leaders with destruction of every major city on Earth. Headquarters.
Good evening.
Would you believe it? It's Doom on the phone.
What's on your evil mind? Hold your insulting tongue and mark my words well. I have plotted my revenge on you. Now I shall have it. Bid farewell to your friends. Doom hates us all. But in his warped mind, he has a personal score to settle with me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Davis.
Operation Doomsday.
As you can see, we're doing something a little different today. I like to call this the Daniel Dumile episode. Excuse me. Can you hear me? Good. For those that know Daniel Dumile, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, this is a recognition of his work and contributions to the music world, this whole episode. And I'm still going to give you everything that you need. Hopefully you use that opening to go ahead and gather your thoughts, take your break, and do what you need to do. But yeah, man, it's another episode. We want to thank everybody who's been subscribing to the YouTube channel, to our Instagram page. The Facebook page is coming. And we got some other things that we're brewing up. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for the support and love. We appreciate it. And yeah, but we'll get right into the show quite early on this episode today. We'll be talking about the usual. So let me go ahead and give you another break and enjoy this Daniel Dumile episode.
No prob, got the job, hot barred, heart throb, Scotch guard, the barber, cotton swab, dart lob, baker, cake sweet, Jamaica trading treats on the beach, make a skeet till her feet meet. Can it be I stayed away too long? Did you miss these rhymes when I was gone? As you listen to these crazy tracks, check them stats, then you know where I'm at. And that's that.
Look, there's Doom now.
I followed him to the studio, but I was too late to stop him.
That's right! You'll never stop me! You're dead! You're not dead! No!
Eating Captain Crunch for lunch, don't get your panties in the bun. Shorty passed out, you could've put the whammy in the punch. Out of your hunch, you could get set up like Juan Cosby, sliding off the police.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill podcast. Whew, man, it has been a week, to say the least. A lot of things have been going on. As far as me personally, I'm making some moves here and there for myself and for this podcast, for the brand of IJCC. on. We're still gonna bring in guests. No guests this episode, obviously, but we love you guys' input. Some of the people we've interviewed have been suggested by the people who have hit us up on our email address and our Instagram, Facebook page. So we appreciate that, man. Again, I can't say it enough, man. All the support and love. Excuse me. We want to definitely give people their flowers for anything that they're doing. So, nevertheless, go ahead and hit us up, man. If you're listening to this, you think you got something that I can help you bring to the light, hit me up, man. It's your boy, John Davis. Nevertheless, all right, man. So let me go ahead and get into the usual. First quarter, so to speak. Not a lot going on politically. It's been a slow week. Summertime is rolling in. In the heat of it, the weather has been dipping up and down. But speaking of the weather, not sure if you guys have seen, but a lot of massive floodings up in the Northeast. And there's a few flash floods in the Far East regions of this country. Not sure Far East of the continent. However, I did see there was a massive mudslide in Japan. And we will definitely talk about Japan in a few. But yeah, man, it's really interesting to see what I'm referring to. These inclement weather happenings involving water in New York City. Something I've never envisioned seeing before. But like I mentioned last week with that big fire hole in the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, this is really, really interesting. Could be nerve-wracking for some people, but it's just really interesting how science is just doing some new shit, man. And it's pretty cool to me, and it's concerning. There's nothing you can do about it, man, except just let it be. But yeah, man, we had massive floodings in the New York area, and one thing I could say about it is that it's pretty interesting when anything happens in that area, anything that happens in that area involving inclement weather, that it won't stop the residents of that city for having a good time. And I'm not even going to just make that a broad regional comment, because I mean, anytime you're stuck in the house or kind of just bonded into moving, people will come up with new innovative ways to have fun. And that's anywhere. But of course, when you see some of the images of the flooding in the New York area, a lot of people brought out jet skis to navigate the waters up there. I know there's a major concern about sanitation, considering its rep of probably contaminated waters from the subway and rail systems, but nevertheless, a resourceful group of people brought out jet skis. I thought that was pretty cool, man. I never really would think that people would need jet skis within a city like New York, but they brought them out. And I know a lot of people, you always talk about New York, well, they had the cameras on them. And so, when the spotlight is on them in the media capital of the world, who else do we have to talk about? Nevertheless, hopefully everyone is safe. Haven't heard of any casualties yet. By the way, there was another flooding, so people don't think I'm just regionally biased. There was another flooding in Detroit about 2 weeks ago. It's not even just the resourcefulness, it's just the perseverance of people who won't let the rain stop them from doing what they gotta do. You gotta give them their respect. So, whether it's plane, train, or automobile, man, people still want to do what they gotta do. But you know me, I just can't chill. So, kudos to them. I think that's it as far as, things within that realm of natural disasters. We did have interesting news coming in today from El Presidente, Joseph Biden, man. Definitely want to get into that. Legislation has been signed, an executive order to be exact. What's it about? We'll talk about that in a few seconds. Just bear with us. You're listening to the I Just Can't Chill podcast, the Daniel Dumile episode.
That's about when he first started going raw. Kept the dro in the drawer. A rhyming klepto who couldn't go up in the store no more. His life is like a folklore legend. Why you're so stiff, you need to smoke more, brethren. Instead of trying to riff with the broke war veteran. Split made him swore he saw heaven, he was 7. Yup, you know it. Growing up too fast. Showing up to class with my wet in a flask. He asked the teacher if he leave, will he pass? His girl is home alone, he trying to get the... If you wanna sip, get a paper water fountain glass. How I'm supposed to know where your mouth been last? Hand so fast, it can outspin flash. Known to smoke a whole mountain of hash to the ash. Boom, bass, leave the room with the stash. Assume it's in a smash. Doom, get the cash. Render unto Ghidra what is Ghidra's. 10 to 1 he sees you through a beaker and a tweezers. Read the fine print and be like, what's the big deal? Spun wheels are still since broke wheel, big wheel. Back when it was greasy as curl, now it's easy dread. Had a rhyme on
Welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill podcast. I'm your host, John Davis.
Have a ball, have a call, have it your way. Grab a
Thank you for
score,
tuning in.
jaw. Since two-tone leaves, these new phonies is bony holes. Like cheese and bologna.
This is the Daniel Dumile episode, as I mentioned before. But let's get right into the executive order that's been signed by President Joe Biden today. Coming from my friend Jessica Smith of Yahoo Finance. This executive order was aimed at promoting competition across the economy, and it was specifically targeted for our techie friends up in the down in the valley. Excuse me, Silicon Valley. How do they call it Silicon? I'm really curious. But anyway, yes, this executive order was signed to try to lower prices for consumers, and it just called for greater investigations and just a tighter lens on companies who try to merge. Now, the history of mergers in this country is pretty interesting. For my friends who listen, my listeners who listen to this podcast who are in that world, they know that once a merger happens, everything pretty much within both businesses are flipped on its side, flipped over, massive turnover, people lose jobs, new people are brought in. And the history of mergers throughout this country pertaining to business are massively tied to the exploitation of the American worker. You can look throughout the history of the mergers. One of the biggest mergers that I remember was, of course, was in 1998, I believe, with Time Warner and AOL. They essentially killed. I can't remember which one went under water, but I believe it was Time Warner, which is owned by Ted Turner. But basically just went underwater. All of the entities and brands tied to that pretty much went defunct. Obviously, the biggest one that people remember, of course, is Ted Turner's attempt at professional wrestling, WCW. But still kept in the Turner brand. But nevertheless, fast forward to now, with this executive order signed by President Biden, this one is kind to gauge the expectations of the many people who work within our tech companies, for Facebook, Twitter, all of these things definitely have ruled the market with an iron fist. All these companies have ruled the market with an iron fist. And, to quote the president, he says that, capitalism is a simple idea. It's open and fair competition. And without competition, it isn't capitalism. So, with this, it will possibly allow you all who work within these industries and those who intend to work with these industries to snoop around a little bit, shop around. Let's see, who's really paying you what you're worth. I saw this press conference live. One thing I can say, it's the 6th month of Uncle Joe being president. He's got a lot of anecdotes, man. I'm trying to seep that in to this executive order that he's signing in. Kind of made it plainly for me. Hopefully to all the people who are listening. Hopefully they understood that this is perhaps a necessary order that's being signed. And it's going to keep the markets fair and balanced. No one wants to be tied to a place that could possibly have a toxic work environment and, again, exploit you for unlivable wages. So, I will say within these 6 months, this is a turn in the right direction for Uncle Joe. We'll see what else he can do while we're there. I'm still waiting on those student loans to be canceled, man. I mean, holla if you hear me, dog. I don't know what's taking long with that, but we'll see. Okay, so I've just been told that he said he won't cancel that. So that's a damn shame. But Joe, hear me out, bro. Joe, hear me out, bro. If you cancel student loans, just imagine how much love you're going to get and the legacy you'll cement within your time in the White House. Just consider it, man. All right. We'll be back. And we'll get into our second part of our show. I just can't chill.
I'll prove that I'm the greatest sound man of all time.
He was a recording genius who invented this gizmo that turns bells into bombs or something.
Wow. Gotta get out of the way of the sound waves of those bells.
Who got the most whips, gats, and cash? If you ask the villain, he say who gives a rat's ass. Can't take it with you when you breathe your last. In the meaning in between, past that grass. Give thanks, his rank is that of big stank dank. He oftentimes drank by the riverbank and kept a silver shank for a calm cat. Always stayed strapped for hand-to-arm combat. For doom the bell tolls, let them fools know ain't no more room in these hellholes. It's filled up to the rim with souls, crackheads, dope fiends, and 40s of old gold. Hold up, the boldest, whoever sold it, whoever dare roll up, prepare to get folded. Like Holly Hobby, Gosh Golly G, the back of Hector Hoshkovitz's trolley red wash me. Dag nabbit, the mask is like a chick magnet, some will let you stab it for a nick of the babbit. They say he talks slick like Dick Habit, a fiend for the mic and can't kick it like a sick habit. Give him a hero's holler, along with more free dough than Cree Flow Dollar. Holy Toledo, how he made bass on the Today Show. They say he wear a mask in case his face show. It's better than a stocking bird brain. Find him on the corner rocking Mockingbird Lane. He's an odd man, grandma, and she's a bad mamma jamma. Either squeeze the damn hammer or stop complaining. On the top, he's remaining. A lot of pop sensations need more proper home training. The people say he's the nicest. He only wants to be left alone to his own devices. If the price is right, he might sing a new smash. Then laugh and twist his Raleigh fingers mustache. Tell your crew a new gash and prepare a new batch of his own special herb goulash. Villain, a dork who talk funny. And I'll put one in you, so watch where you walk, money. Like some me say, do more boomers, they cure tumors. And beware the doom stuff.
I see you peeing in your pants, little sissy boy.
Jerks. Welcome to the octagon, lay a player flat before the trainer felt his clock was on. Keep your socks torn, it's a boxathon with hard rock, black rock-a-rons going barbers on. Curled up, begging, laying on the canvas instead of in the ready position like praying mantis. Scissors, land this grand fist sandwich, stand, switch, slam on stitches, switch hands, itch. Damn snitch, any street corner could be the platform to meet defeat.
Welcome back to I Just Can't Chill. Yo, man, I couldn't get a guest today. But, you know, it's working out. All things work for the greater good. But, what I want to talk about here is bad movies. Now, first off, definitely want to give a shout out to AMC, everyone that survived everything. Oh, excuse me, man. Everybody that survived the pandemic. Specifically the movie industry. Looks like it's back booming again. People are going back in the theaters. We even have a new theater out now, 4D theaters. They basically just give you the whole full experience, man. They give you special effects, shaking seats. Check it out, man. It's on YouTube, man. And it's fairly cheap from what I've seen. What might be cheap to me might be expensive to you. So let me just say that. But yeah, man, bad movies. Something that I want to talk about here as we get into quote unquote the summer blockbuster season, and it already kind of started. I would say, it generally starts in May, but I would say it kicked off with yet another installment of the Fast and the Furious series. And we're talking about Fast and Furious 9 here, for everyone that's been counting. And the series in itself has been making films for about a good 20 years. There's still reports that there will be more films coming. So the Fast and Furious franchise, in which Vin Diesel, Mr. Family Man, is carrying on his back, is continuing to suffice and survive in our lives. I haven't seen it yet. Well, again, we had that movie out, Fast and the Furious 9. Black Widow has been released, a movie that was delayed last year. And then we got Space Jam coming up, Space Jam 2 to be exact. LeBron James and our classic friends from Looney Tunes. They'll be back again playing against some extraterrestrial athletes. I do believe both films can also be viewed at home, but with you guys being vaxxed and waxed, ready to go outside, you do have the option to go see it in theaters. But nevertheless, bad movies. It's something that I want to talk about because I had a friend who, referred to one of my favorite movies, and I wouldn't say it's a cult classic, but White Chicks, which stars Marlon Wayans and I forgot the other guy's name, but they brothers. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's not Damon, obviously, but the Wayans brothers, Marlon and Sean. I'm sorry, goodness gracious. But this was a movie that came out during the summer, during the early days of my youth. I really enjoyed it, but I had a friend of mine who said it was horrible, and he also said it was offensive. Now, I would possibly try to bring him on to state his case, but the way he explained it, it's just so many tidbits in it that we should have deemed offensive. But my plea and my defense is that, if anyone, I don't want to spoil the movie. I don't want to spoil the movie, but if you think that the experience as a black man doesn't involve you pandering to a white audience, or emboldening yourself within a passive-aggressive mindset as they did within this movie, that I don't know what to tell you, man. This movie connects the dots on all fronts on that end. If you think that, it offended you, so be it. But I thought it was hilarious. And there were some parts of it, as I now have gotten older, that are still relatable. So shout out to the Wayans brothers and the other actors in that film. And there's a high list of plenty of bad movies that we could talk about all day. But for the sake of time and for the Daniel Dumile mix, I'll just keep it there. It's just interesting that, the movies that we deem good, excellent, should receive high prominence. They get preserved within the Library of Congress and the National Film Registry. And I'm looking at this list, man. Some of these movies I've seen, they suck. And I'm just trying to figure out how can I get, within this group of people who vote on putting these films in this vault, so to speak. Because, one of the movies I recently saw, and this one might get me in trouble, The Big Lebowski is on there, and it's deemed as a comedy. And I didn't really laugh too much about it, to be honest with you. I think it was good acting. The story was very pulpish. Kind of mirrored Pulp Fiction, another film by Quentin Tarantino, but it's not really anything that I thought was worth preserving. I'm not trying to spoil any movies. You can check it out for yourself. But shout out to some other good movies that are on that list. Malcolm X is on there, which is a good film. Do the Right Thing. In particularly, there are certain directors, Spike Lee, as I mentioned, there's 2 films, Martin Scorsese, they have plenty of films within that registry. The Big Lebowski, which is directed by the Coen brothers, I guess it received recognition for that piece of work. Let us know what are some of the worst movies that you've seen during the summer, or just in general. We'll have you come on and tell us why it was bad. All right. We'll be back. Take another quick break. You're listening to I Just Can't Chill with John Davis.
Outspit them like Jonah. Add bonuses. Intel suggests they had no cojonuses. On this microphone business slaughter. That's on his 2 premature daughters, they orders. The thought was quarters, halves, holes, and roll. Like good times, sold like good dimes. It's just begun to begin to end. To start back again. Smarter men. And his retarded friend.
Welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill. Thank you again for tuning into this new and experimental episode, the Daniel Dumile episode. We appreciate everyone who's been tuning in. But again, be on the lookout. We still got some more interviews brewing. And as we continue to close out this season 2 of I Just Can't Chill, that's right. Second season, Dunny. We'll continue to bring on guests to enhance this experience and make it more interactive for you all. But yeah, man. I try to close it out within this time frame. But if not, we're gonna keep it going with the Gang of Dumile mix, tribute, dedication, recognition. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's again the summer is going. We're going for it. And in particular, I saw with One Family Network that I shall not name that they're dubbing this weekend the Weekend of Champions. This is a sports segment, by the way, but they're dubbing this weekend the Weekend of Champions. Very interesting to note that everything associated with this Weekend of Champions will appear on their network. So, kudos to them. But nevertheless, if you're into sports, we got a lot of good things. They got a lot of good things brewing for you. Let's start with tomorrow. I believe we have some actions within the gentlemen's and ladies' game of tennis. Semifinals matchup within the Wimbledon tournament. Now, I'm not sure if viewership has gone down. Of course, you know that some of our best competitors within the sport have withdrawn from playing, and particularly Naomi Osaka and Venus Williams. So I'm not sure if viewership has dropped, but nevertheless, if you're a true fan of the sport, passionate about it, we have the women's singles with a matchup between Ashley Barty of Australia and Carolina Pilasofia from Croatia. So we'll go ahead and set your clocks for that matchup at 9 o'clock. Excuse me. 9 o'clock. Let me rewind a little bit. Miss Pilyasova is from Czechia. So, peace to my Czechskians out there. Anyway, so we had that matchup. And then Saturday night, we got some UFC action. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. This is the third time they will be fighting. As you may know, this is something that I'm kind of interested in. I don't have too many picks for this fight, considering the time frame. I won't get into that, but I will say that Conor McGregor, being the flamboyant, boisterous person that he has created himself to be throughout his time within mixed martial arts, this is a make or break fight for him. And again, the gentleman he was fighting beat him exactly 6 months ago in January. So he's looking for a bounce back win and continuing to cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters. Not just an MMA fighter, but a fighter within history. So, yeah, man, that's tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we have the Euro final. As everyone knows, within the history of soccer, which the Euro final is based on, history of soccer, we have the World Tournament, which is FIFA, which happens every 4 years. The regional countries host tournaments, and now we will have the European final between Italy and England, and that'll be Sunday as well. Also, there is another soccer final for our South American friends between Argentina and Brazil. That might be a better matchup if you're looking for more excitement in your life within that sport. Check that out. But we have that matchup on Sunday, and then we close it out Sunday night with a Game 3 of the NBA Finals. So far right now, it is a 2-game advantage for the Phoenix Suns, led by the legendary point guard, Chris Paul. Very, very impressed with the effort from Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. But, nevertheless, they got to get it together, or as the gentleman who has visually beaten up his naysayers and detractors, Suns will win in 4. So, man, weekend of champions, check that out. Also, again, I want to give a big shout out to the Habitual Line Sippers podcast. Check them out for all your sports nerds. But yes, it's a lot of things to do if you're not outside having the time of your life. You can stay inside, enjoy the AC, crack open your favorite beverage, and watch these things. But I know I wanted to talk about Japan. I know they just had this a mudslide in the area, but it's looking like the Olympics, which should be happening in about 2 weeks, will have no spectators. No spectators will be allowed, and they have just declared for a state of emergency over concerns of the coronavirus. Some people would say this is just a boomerang effect of them denying our friend Sha'Carri from competing. But if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to be. Tough titty. But nevertheless, as we get closer to the end of the summer, we have more sports that are on the line. I know particularly football season is on its way. And it's going to be pretty interesting to say. And we'll see what happens going forward, man. Man. Weekend of champions. Yep.
Your man sick, but he wrecked tracks, puto. Get back to roll, exactamundo. Victor the director flip a script like Rob Reiner. The way a lot of dudes rhyme, their name should be Knob Shiner. For $1, they likely dance the jiggle, do the hucklebuck. To Vic, it's no big deal, they just a bunch of knuckle fucks. You wonder how well would they hold up in the holding cell. It sorta had the strange makings of a tale told in hell. Like, oh well, hold tall riches. If the feds is really after them, they just told all the snitches. On borrowed time rhymes, gassed by the silver screen. They act like they monkey ass, get healed back like Wolverine. Mellow out, what y'all bellow out, y'all yellow mouth. What happened to the type of spit that used to help a fellow out? No doubt, leave a rapper in a body cast. I wonder what he was doing while we was in karate class.
Alright, man. So, again, we thank you for tuning into this new experience. The Daniel Dumile episode. Happy Born Day to Daniel Dumile. It'll be on Tuesday. So, we appreciate everyone for listening to this week's episode, this new experience. Let us know how you like it. We might try this again. Remember, pay your bills. But remember, I just can't chill. Peace.